What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Merry Christmas to one and all, and we have a little gift for you today via Santa Claus himself sending in these replays, and we have Mr. JH as a Protoss in the top middle position versus Defjam in the middle right position, looking to go for some aggressive mid build. Unfortunately, we're not going to see a goes through mid build versus mid build. Those can be absolutely wild, but we are just going to see a mid build versus a potentially Nexus first here by Mr. JH. It looks like, luckily for Defjam and JH, this probe is actually going to come out here and scout. It looks like he was going to go for a gateway here anyway, but both players are going to see the good news that it is going to be a Protoss versus Protoss. This is a little unfortunate for Defjam. You don't necessarily want to go for a mid build versus another Protoss here. There is going to be a snowball kind of effect where if he's able to put the pressure on, he's going to be able to continue that pressure. But if JH is able to defend and get any kind of counter pressure, it's going to be really difficult for JH or Defjam to defend, as his Zealots are going to have to walk all the way back here to defend. While these Zealots are going to be able to pop out and be in a pretty good defensive position for any incoming Zealot attacks here. We do see a 3-gate versus a 2-gate here, so Defjam or JH probably going to throw down a Forge, I would imagine here, or just a little bit of a later 3rd gate. We'll see exactly what he decides to do. Maybe even a Nexus here. He is almost at 400 minerals, but he is starting those 2 Zealots and then going to get that Forge right away here. Meanwhile, we do see that 3rd pylon still over here in the middle, and JH has officially scouted Defjam, so he's going to know exactly where to send his units, and just like that, we are going to see that first Zealot pop out. It looks like he's going to follow this up by some cannon pressure here as well, as yeah, these Zealots are not going to want to go back home. You see the first 2 Zealots going to ignore that first Zealot of JH's and going to go for a counterattack. That Forge is up, and a cannon does come down immediately. This second Zealot that was going to go pressure for JH is going to come back to help defend. This Zealot, though, is out here and is going to start working away at these probes, already getting 1 kill before Defjam does react. Is going to get 2 kills. 3 kills before finally falling down. Meanwhile, this Zealot did just get hella hurt without getting any damage done. Don't think JH has lost a single probe yet, and is once again going to take the Zealot lead advantage. You can see that defender's advantage really coming in handy here. Meanwhile, back here, this cannon push is coming. It looks like Defjam was focusing a lot on that pylon, almost did 300 damage to that pylon. Meanwhile, this cannon is going to get up, and with that, we are probably going to see a GG here. Don't imagine him being able to defend on here. Zealots are producing back at home, but taking substantial damage. 9 probes, 216, and yeah, GG is going to be called. JH has a secure cannon back at home, was able to defend nicely and counterattack to the maximum ability, and is going to take a nice 1-0 lead in this series. Very well played by Mr. JH in that PvP, but a little unlucky for Defjam going for that mid build in that matchup. Arbors are sometimes, but very rarely give you the mirror matchups, and it's just not something that you can prepare for every single game because it's just so unlikely to happen. So a little unfortunate for Defjam, but GG. Jumping into game number 2, we got Defjam once again as Protoss, and this time JH will be the purple Terran player. So Defjam going to be in a good spot to make up for that last mistake. These close proximity could lead to some very early drop damage. Both these players trying to figure out the leg situation. One from Germany and one from Korea, so meeting up probably in the West servers here as well to play this game. So yeah, some latency issues. Not going to be the exact lag-free game that you always wish to play, especially when you're a high APM Korean Gosu. Just gonna see that barracks first, followed by that depot. Defjam going to do an opt for a gateway at home at the very least here. Not going to mid build 2 games in a row. It looks like he is going to go for the 2 gateway We'll see if he gets 3 or 4, if he's going to get that Nexus after. No, look at, since he's getting that pylon so quickly, this leads me to believe he is going to go for a 4-gate build here, which is a very safe and secure build. JH going for that standard 3 barracks here. And yeah, this early pressure is going to be interesting, especially depending on how quickly they scout each other here. You do see that 4-gate completed. The first SCV and first probe are possibly going to meet here. And yeah, both players are going to know the race, and they're going to soon know the exact positions of their opponents here. So, if with good micro, JH will possibly have an opportunity to get in a counter attack here if he's able to get a good number of Marines without losing them, but that's going to come down to the micro, because there's going to be a lot of damage coming down here, or a lot of Zealots potential damage coming down here. Probe going down there, and SCV continuing to mess up the mining here of Defjam, taking a little bit of a lead there in those small little battles, killing the probe and keeping his SCV alive. Keeping that SCV alive is just so nice, just to constantly get a scout on to see when exactly all the timings of that additional Nexus and all that are. Do see the first 2 Zealots coming out to pressure, but JH already starting to build a little bit of a wall here to help defend. Look at that nice little nook there for the Marines. Gonna make those Zealots come all the way around, and gonna be able to get a lot of shots off before that happens. This SCV nearly goes down, but JH continuing to keep that alive, even seeing if there is any contain going down there. That may trigger JH to go for some kind of quicker academy, but still no academy or anything yet, or gas started. Just focusing on this wall as of right now, since he does know he's up to against just a Zealot. Doesn't really need to tech up too much too quickly. Just going to complete that wall here. We do see the Nexus and a gas started here for Defjam. So Defjam going to slowly transition, but doesn't have any cannons up yet. He does have a forge and his core going down. Looks like he is going to now try to go for some kind of contain, knowing that these Marines have been untouched and are piling up. Are going to be in pretty big numbers here soon. And he is going to have to stop Zealot production for a little bit to get all of his gas and everything going. These Zealots do finally pick off that SCV, it sounds like. I didn't see if it was the exact scouting one or not. Going to try to apply some pressure while he does get some of these cannons up to keep himself alive. That Academy just going down now, so very late Academy. Got that command center before the Academy. So this doesn't really seem like JH is wanting to put on too much aggression, but right as they said that he is starting to move out now, this is a big number of Marines here. These Zealots going to have to try to, they wanted to run away because he knew these numbers are too big, but he needs to buy some time before these cannons to go down, because right now that is a lot of Marines here. It's actually 50 supplied to 33, but these cannons look like they're going to be popping up at the right exact time. Does not want to overcommit and just lose the game right then and there, or throw away all those Marines. So he smartly and safely does just back up here. Going to get his 3rd command center and just going to opt to now transition into that mid to late game, knowing that yeah, counterattack with Marines isn't going to do it now that those cannons are up. Do see that Robotics and Citadel of Adun going down for our Protoss player here. I'm going to look to go right into those High Templar drops, the staple of Protoss play here. Yeah, just got to be pretty crazy not to even attempt the storm drops. I do see lifting the barracks, so maybe gonna start floating them around. Okay, no, just repositioning those barracks. Getting his first comm stat station out. You do see those Templar of Archive just completing now. A couple of Zealots moving up here. Getting a little worried about a potential tank drop, but no tank drop in sight here. Going for that double factory, only on 2 refineries, so I don't even know if he'll be able to afford a starport. Gonna go right into that siege mode, I would imagine. And yeah, just going to look to maybe break out and apply some pressure, or maybe just get some siege tanks out in case he's up against some kind of Reaver build. Because these Reavers can not only be super effective on killing these SCVs, they can do very good versus depots and bunkers and Marines if there is no siege tank out there. So we'll see if that's exactly what he is going to try to do. Does have the shuttle speed out, so maybe just going to wait for those High Templars. All good in the hood. It's his Merry Christmas option to do whatever he so pleases. These drops are going to have a very short distance to get to the Terran player, so I believe he's going to be dropping constant, but he does also have to worry about some counter drops, even though that isn't on JH's agenda as of now. No starport in sight, just pumping out tanks now. A couple of AFK SCVs there. Now they are going to go back to work collecting. First Reaver is loaded up. Not many gateways to back this up. And all of his zones are staying back at home for the most part. But he is looking like he is going to go to that choke area. Not going to risk flying in here. There is a pretty good defense here. These turrets moving one spot backwards just to cover more surface area until he's able to afford a whole layer of them. First bunker going to go down. Siege mode just about to finish, so he may just have enough here to defend, but this choke is taking substantial damage. The Defjam is getting himself in a nice position. This first DT is out here as well. It is scanned and is going to get taken out, but another DT followed up here, and he only has, I guess he does have a couple of turrets around the map, so he isn't going to die to DTs, but these DTs are going to get some work done here. No detection as of right now. A couple of slow Zealots moving in here, and two more Reavers are now back in the action. So these clumped up Marines are like going to take a huge amount of damage, or a big shot off there. Trying to get that turret up, and this DT is still alive, swinging away. Another scan is going to have to go down to finally pick that off, but okay, now we do have a couple more siege tanks reinforcing this. Looks like he may just have enough to hold on. Defjam going to pick up that last Reaver and keep itself alive. Is getting more Reavers actually, so it's looking like he is kind of want to apply some pressure. We are seeing that macro kind of fall behind here a little bit for Defjam, microing so much on that front. Is going to go in here with a Reaver and a DT and a Zealot. The Zealot and the Reaver drop, but the DT does get taken out. The Reaver's going to have to drop way too far away from his drop-off spot, which is in shot of those SCVs, and is going to get taken out. You see Defjam falling a little behind in worker count. I guess that's the power of the triple command center. Able to, what am I doing? Able to really pump out those SCVs. Even getting another command center now. Starting to really add on those factories. Scanning exactly what his opponent is up to. Defjam though only on 2 robos, trying to do mass drop. Okay, maybe just dropping these Reavers, afraid of some tank drops. Getting his 3rd Nexus here very late as well. Maybe feeling that economy being a little bit behind. Do you see those armories getting put down by the Terran? Going to start those upgrades, and yeah, he's just going to add on these factories, mass up, and then it's going to be up to Defjam to get something done. As of now, he's been very unsuccessful with these drops. A ton of turrets and Marines in place to defend. His choke is a little bare here, trying to get that wall up ASAP. But right now, all of his units are basically focused on defending these drops. Tanks in very nice position here to cover a lot of his base. And yeah, Storm Drop getting ready to get added on here. He's trying to pump out. Oh, look at that! Actually, 2 more. So he's going to be adding on a lot more robotics facilities. Really going to concentrate on dropping here. Only 3 cannons though. I may get me a little bit worried, and no expansion or anything for Defjam. So Defjam's really going with an all-in strategy, not really preparing at all for that later game. But he's going to come in here with another massive attack. He is at 167 supply to 140. These Reavers are going to drop. Going to take out the depot to help let these Zealots stream in here. There's a lot of Marines and tanks here, but maybe that is just a little bit of a decoy to get these 2 dropships in here. There's 2 Reavers, a High Templar in here. There's a lot of potential damage here. The Storm does go off, killing 8 or 9 SCVs, but those Reavers focused on units instead of workers that did not get any shots off on those SCVs, really costing him that nice little move there for sure to get those dropships in there. But those dropships really fudged up their one and only job to shoot those SCVs. Looks like they just shot at something else, some Marines or a tank or something instead of those workers. You really need to focus fire that, but it's difficult when you're also storming at the same time. Defjam spending all of his money. He is very poor, but he just does not have a really solid game plan as of right now. Since he hasn't got any damage done, you kind of have to be preparing for a tank push out, and it looks like he's not really preparing for that late game very much at all. Just trying to get these drops out. We do see those barracks now lifted up. I think they're going to go around the map to just get him that extra vision. Does have some Goliaths out here, also ready to pick off drops, knowing that drops is really the only way that JH is going to lose this game at this point, while he's in the midst of amassing up factories. He is at 153 supply. We do see the drop coming in now. Marine's going to stem and take it out with ease. Only a single Zealot dropping. Looks like there was a little bit of attack here at the front as well. Is going to make that choke kind of there. Not the craziest amount of siege tanks here by JH, and no wall. So a crazy mass could potentially do some work. More scans going to go down, seeing exactly what he is up against. And Defjam maxed out once again. It's going to be looking to go for a mass drop, it looks like. That's what all of his supply has to be, and I don't see where most of his units are. He is up to 96 probes now too, so maybe overbuilding probes now. Definitely overbuilding probes now, but that is going to give him the bank, but his army is going to be lacking, so he needs to really start massing up cannons or something, at least get an expansion so you have more gateways if these all get blocked in for a flank. You now have the economy, you just need to start doing it, but it looks like he is just going to go for another big drop here from the front. This is full of Zealots, highest Templars. We'll see if we're going to try to drop it at the choke or go for the economy. Going for the economy might be the best idea, but he is just going to go for this drop right on the choke to try to break this Terran player, who is now not even worried about rebuilding his choke. He does feel like he has enough units, and it looks like he's going to just counterattack right here, right now. And this is spelling disaster for Defjam, who is going to potentially fall down 2-1, as he just doesn't seem to have much of an answer. He has a lot of Reavers, even in production here. So I don't know how well Reavers do versus Siege Tank. Maybe he's going to try to drop this on the army and try to just explode him, but yeah, just trying to throw up these panic cannons now, realizing that this is a threat that's right at his front door, as this Terran's choke leads right to yours. So this is not a very far distance that these reinforcements are going to have to come. And yeah, this is going to be difficult off of a single base here. You need to have an expansion, I think. I don't even know what you can do at this point versus this strong of a JH. You're really at a disadvantage with all of your first drops don't do any damage. And he's committed so much to it. Even hoping to do a mass Reaver drop at home here, but the Terran is just scanning, seeing what exactly is happening, why there isn't any units out on the map, but he even scanned this mass Reaver drop, so he's probably even going to throw up maybe a couple more siege tanks up here, but does have a good amount of units up here, Goliaths, tanks, Marines, all ready to pick off the drop. And yeah, that 86 workers isn't helping as well. He's going to see once again that a big drop is coming off here. He's going to be ready to focus fire those shuttles, and yeah, this drop this attack is 1/3 in his base already. Scan once again, going to see the exact time he is going to react perfectly with these Goliaths. These Goliaths going to be picking off dropship after dropship, 3 or 4 dropships taken out there, and you can just see the supply plummet for Defjam, or for Defjam, not even going to get any shots off on the workers. All of them were saved, and yeah, this is going to be a GG. We do see the last resort. Dark Templars coming in here since there isn't any vessel, but he does have 3, or no, just floated one of those command centers up there for the main stoppage, but it's going to have enough scans to pick these off. And yeah, you never want to be relying on DTs on one base here. Trying to get some starports here back at the base, but yeah, no probe on the map. GG is going to be called, and JH is going to go up 2-0 in this series. And Defjam is going to be on match point, going to have to win the rest of the games in order to survive. His dreams of reaching the semifinals are crumbling, and JH is looking very good right now. We'll see if Defjam can bounce back. Oh, that's a good good sign for Mr. Defjam. He is going to be up against a Zerg versus, or as a Terran. So yeah, this is going to be very good. Now he has the advantage of the Zerg choke is going to be right outside of his entrance, and he's going to be able to reinforce that while also having a nice little not worry about flank kind of situation. And it's going to be very hard for the Zerg to hold on to this early pressure. This early push is just going to be coming so quickly to his front door. Yeah, it's really going to be up to JH to do something, I feel, in this game. This Overlord is going to be coming out, so this could be a good start if he's able to find his opponent without his opponent seeing him. Defjam did not see it. Yeah. Okay, yeah, see, Defjam did not see it, but JH did in fact scout it. He moved right back, right at the proper pixel, as it does outrange these buildings by just a very tiny little bit. So good Overlord awareness there, pulling back immediately, going to know that he's up against a Terran, while the Terran is not going to be yet aware that he is up against a Zerg. Did you see that standard spawning pool going down here? Drone before Overlord, so there's going to be supply stuck for just a little bit there. Doesn't usually matter. Usually you build another hatchery here and then just use one of those larvas that you can usually afford there, and then that Overlord isn't too big of a deal. First Overlord that did scout his opponent is coming now back out to the choke. Gonna make sure there isn't any crazy bunkers out here. Defjam going for a little bit of a later scout. Typically you want to scout earlier than this as a Terran player, usually after your first barracks, or even earlier than that. First Marine and this SCV are now going to be sent out to scout. Not going to be too difficult for him to scout this, as this Overlord is ready to door. Going to know now that he is up against his Zerg, and then in a couple more seconds he's going to know exactly where his Zerg is. He's rallying all of his Marines here to his choke, and looks like he is going to be able to sneak in here before this first sunken colony is done. Only building one sunken colony and now just Zerglings. The first SCV is going to start attacking this drone here. And this Marine is actually going to take out one drone there. Very nice little teamwork here by the SCV, and getting another one too there, targeting that the drone that was trying to run away from the SCV that was targeting it, and actually gets 2 drone kills there, which is actually very significant. A pretty big deal, especially when you're going to need all those drones in these tight situations. It does pick off a Marine for the price of a Zergling there. Does have his gas going back at home, but going to lose another Zergling, in which he just cannot be affording right now. Do you see that factory and academy going down? So it looks like he's going to go for a 1 factory stim attack, which is very understandable in these situations. Going to be a very good build choice for his opponent. He's going to be able to put his factory safely at home. Not going to be vulnerable to any kind of speedling build or anything. That's not going to be the case. We do see that layer going down for JH. And we're going to see Mr. Defjam try to get some shots off on this unbuilt sunken. Actually going to decide to run right by here. Going to pick off those Zerglings. Only a single sunken in range of that. And once again, he's going to be targeting that very vulnerable Zerg economy. JH forced to throw down another sunken colony, but that is going to be out of range of where these Marines are going to go. They are going to go to the back here to target these drones and see how many drones they can get. A nice little stack attack there. Going to pick off one Marine immediately, but they aren't detecting, and they've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly 6 workers going to be thrown down there, or killed there. And you can see JH is now only having 6 workers to mine with, but they're actually still running away. This Marine's still trying to get some blood here. Already has 3 kills himself. 1 shot away from killing that last target. It is going to accomplish his mission. So very nicely done by Defjam, putting JH in a just brutally tough spot here. Almost has his first siege tank already out. Does have a layer, but he is unable to afford any kind of follow-up. He cannot afford a spire, cannot afford a Hydralisk Den, and yet he's just in a lot of trouble here. Only 3 sunkens here, and they're going to be pushed once again. Defjam putting the pressure on his opponent, knowing he's got significant damage done to the economy. Does not want to give him a chance to come back. And we're seeing a Queen's Nest come down, so maybe just wanting to go into Defiler Zergling, maybe an Ultralisk Rush. I'm not sure exactly what his plan is. Already going to pick off another sunken, then backing off here, and 3 Marines, 3 medics are not enough for 2 sunken colonies, but just going to pull back for his tank to be reinforcing here, getting that starport done. Going to want to pump those vessels out ASAP. But we see that first siege tank sieging up here, and I don't think it's going to come to that point. 2 more drones getting taken out. JH just not being able to catch a break here. His Queen's Nest is done. We'll see if he just goes right into that hive, but once again, he's just so poor right now. Already his supply is over doubled, and Defjam is, just going to be able to reinforce so quickly here. Not even waiting for his tank to pick off these sunken. He's just going to move in here with his stimmed up Marines and medics. And yeah, this is looking pretty tough here for Mr. JH. That hive is started. This could be the Tony G Christmas comeback that we all would love to see. Defjam gonna get a win here for sure. This choke is falling, and there's absolutely nothing back at home. This hive has nothing backed up with it, and GG is going to be called. Defjam stays alive and is going to look to get that reverse sweep. We'll see if he's able to do it or if JH is going to hold on. We'll see you in the next one. It is very close second round matchup. Almost forgot there for a second because it's all but jumbled up. But yeah, these guys are fighting for the semifinal spot. We'll see if we can crown a winner, or if we're going to continue into a game number 5 here. Let's check it out now. Our next game is upon us. What is this? Game number 4, right? Yes, game number 4. JH is up 2-1. Defjam on the ropes, but he is Terran in a corner position versus a Protoss, and he has defeated JH TVP before, so this is not out of the question. We do have a middle position here for JH. Gonna go for that very forward, probably 2 gateway build once again. Seems to be, or just what he went for last time, so I assume he's gonna go for it again. Now we do see Defjam going to throw up that first old supply depot. Going to be followed up by a barracks. Probably going to go for that 3 barracks play. And yeah, that's Defjam going to be looking to stay alive here. He has to win this game or else he's eliminated. And JH is in a very good spot to close the series out. As Protoss, you're never upset being Protoss. Never ever upset. Do you just see the 2? Okay, everything's pretty standard here. I'm just getting ahead of myself. Nothing too wild out yet. These openings are all looking very similar. Not going to be able to scout each other for a little while. I do notice that Defjam does have a very late scout. He likes to use his first Marine to scout instead of this first SCV. Yeah, see, he does not scout with that, which is a little unusual. I'm going to use that right to get that quick refinery, though. He just must have this mapped out, where this is just a little, obviously going to be a little bit more economical, as you're going to have a whole 1 extra SCV collecting, and in that early game, you can never underestimate just how much of a difference that makes. Do see that first Zealot out, going to be applying some pressure. I feel like we're going to see a Nexus thrown down now, as he was pooling up 400 minerals to do that. And yeah, going to be a 2-gate Nexus here, which is a little bit of a safer build than just a Nexus first. Obviously, you're going to have some Zealots out on the map very quickly. First SCV goes across. Going to look for any kind of mid build. Going to see that he's not up against a mid build, but not going to yet find his opponent. This first Zealot is going to come in here and know exactly where his opponent is. The Marine is going to spot this pylon, and hopefully he doesn't think that is where his opponent is. That could be a little bit of a tricky pylon there. Looks like he's just going to get taken out by this first Zealot. Going to meet up with his 3 other Zealot brethrens. Non-stop Zealot production so far. We do see a Forge being thrown down, and that first gas, and a Cybernetics core. Command center in response for Defjam as he starts to build up his choke. But you can see that the timing, one little bit of a difference. That other JH had 1 extra SCV building a depot here, and that made that nice little concave where this battle was just not something that he could go for. But now JH is going to be able to get a nice surround right on these Marines and take out a lot of them. 3 or 4 Marines going to go down before they can get this bunker, and they're also going to be able to enter this base. The rest of these Zealots are also going to be able to run by, as there just is not a wall. He does now finally put up that depot, but a little too late already. You can just see the difference that something that little of a mistake makes. A little bit of a blunder there. Let's see, one SCV is going to go down, and he's going to have to spend all this time microing these Marines for the life of them. Doing a very nice job there, though, keeping them alive. But 2 more here, going to potentially pick off another SCV. Nice response there once again by Defjam, pulling that SCV out that was building the engineering bay, but still going to lose 1 worker. More Marines coming down here. Another Zealot ran by as well. And yeah, this is just getting a lot of damage done, all because he was just a little bit late on that first barracks. This is only a 2 gateway pressure here from JH, so this is not a lot of Zealots. It's just very nicely microed Zealots. And yeah, that all just stemmed down to that little bit of a late depot there. If he was able to get that up, those first Zealots just would have had to retreat. But now he is a little bit worried about any kind of counterattack, knowing that these Marines are going to be accompanied by medics probably sometime soon. Stims, I think, is already done going for that range. Maybe going for that range first, knowing that Dragoons are a possibility. But we do see the first 2 Robos going down, and they are down here, which is going to be not scanned by that first scan. Usually the first scan is done up here by the Terran player. Yeah, we'll see if he does actually right now, because his comp stat is done. Usually you throw down that first scan, you want to see exactly where the tech is, exactly what your opponent is doing. There we do see that scan going down. We're going to see that it is a +1 Nexus, and he's only going to see 3 gas. So he's going to have an idea that he's teching up, but he's not going to have an exact timing here. Does build another bunker, but yeah, this is going to be a double Robo coming out fast and quick. Do see that Citadel of a Dune and that robotic support bay all being thrown up here. Defjam already started his turret production, his turret wall around. Do see another Robo being thrown down. So 3 Robos, I feel, is just so much more powerful than the 2 Robos that Defjam went for in that last PVT. You can get 1 dropship and 2 Reavers constantly, or just the 3 dropships are just so much harder to pick off than the 2 dropships. You change that 55% to that 33% for those Marines to stim and pick it off, which is substantial. Do you see these Zealots just chilling right here? Maybe gonna get yeah, he's guaranteed gonna have 2 Reavers and 4 Zealots in these first 2 dropships. Adding on his gateways now, does have shuttle speed and Zealot legs, plus the +1, so I think he is going to be looking for some aggression. This tank is out and siege mode is just about done, so the Reavers at the front aren't going to do much damage. We'll see exactly where he opts to bring his units. Another scan going down. Do have a probe out on the map. He is building some pylons to detect if there is going to be any drop, so he can prepare accordingly to that. 3rd command center going down now. Defjam just getting himself in a nice little position here and massing up his turrets. Does have a pretty good Marine spread around the map, so we can pick off any dropships. And these first dropships are coming in. We do see those 2 Reavers and 4 Zealots. And now you can see that 2 Reavers and dropship being built, which is just so powerful. And it's going to be able to follow up something so much quicker, especially if he just drops these down. Yeah, we'll see. Actually, this could just do. He could just run by here. There's only 1 turret going to be in range. The 2nd turret may actually get up, so this could be dangerous here for Mr. JH. Shuttle speed not quite done yet. Here he is moving in. Okay, shuttle speed did just hit. He was waiting for shuttle speed there. He's going to drop right here just on those turrets. Not going to let them get picked off. A nice shot on that first scare. Going to pick off all of those defending Marines here. And now these Zealots are focusing the turrets. They're going to try to clear a pathway for the next coming drop here. Another nice shot here on these Reavers, trying to spread these Marines out as much as they can, but a lot of them going down, and still 2 Zealots here. While the second drop comes in here, JH meanwhile microing that all at home, and holy blammo, that is not going to be good. That is not what Defjam wanted for Christmas. All of his SCVs getting destroyed before he even had the chance to react. And yeah, this follow-up drop, that's the power, the difference between the 3 Robo and that 2 Robo. This follow-up drop just comes so much quicker if you do opt to go for that. And yeah, this is you're going to have to force to unsiege some of his tanks that have choked to pull back here. This tank out of range again. What bad luck there for Defjam. Defjam just continuing to take massive damage. Down to 14 workers to 71. Picks up the Reavers once again. Is going to be probably forced to drop them. Does take out another siege tank, so super cost efficient drop there. And now he has High Templars out here ready to go. But even before that, he just has another 3 dropships full of Zealots that are down here. But while they were waiting for the High Templars, no idle dropships, going to pick off even more turrets and clear that pathway once again. For just another, yeah, 3 dropship, all full again, able to make enough units with his 5 gateways. And his 1 command center. These Zealots wrecking havoc in the base here. Another drop coming in with a High Templar. Going to get another couple kills there, and down to 15 SCVs, which is just not something that you ever want. Refineries blowing up, burning down, and so are Defjam's chances of surviving here. JH in a prime time spot to just finish him off. Another bunch of dropships, 3 of them loaded up, 2 of them are decoys, and just nothing really back here at home for Defjam. Defjam's going to have to build SCVs constantly, but also going to try to rebuild some of these turrets. Stems forward and does attack some of these dropships, but these dropships drop the High Templar, just killing the rest of those Marines. I'm going to have enough for another drop. Just not even bothering storming the workers. Just going to kill the Marines. Let these Zealots finish it off. Going to form into an Archon there. And yeah, this is just devastation for Defjam. Just getting picked apart. Another High Templar going to drop. And going to just get all the rest of the SUVs. GG is called, and JH is going to advance to the semi-finals to play against Gold SUV to see who is going to reach the finals and face off Mr. Kokanee, who just we saw yesterday make it there. Throw up those brackets now so you can see exactly what's happening if you don't believe what I just said. But yeah, JH going to advance. It's going to be 2 Koreans. Going to see which Korean is going to face off versus the Korean Slayer, and that will be our finals. They're going to be JH or Gold SUV. One of those 2 will be facing off versus Kokanee to see our Tony G Christmas Tournament champion, first annual. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. Very well played by Defjam. Just getting some rough luck. I think was playing against Protoss. Yeah, I don't know. You can't really blame the matchups, but either way, gonna lose to JH. JH was the better player today, and congratulations to JH. Gonna advance, and yeah, that's all we'll see. We'll see you. We've got 2 series left. The finals will be a best of 9, so that'll be a nice, juicy one. I hope you guys are enjoying. We're 2 series away to see who's going to claim the $170 prize pool first place. First place like $130. I don't know. You guys can see in the brackets, but GG, well played. Hope you guys have a Merry Christmas and peace out later.